super uncomfortable. This is my first ever video and it's really awkward to be talking to a camera. And I'm really sorry and I hope you guys bear with me because this is really difficult. Hi, so I'm Shanna, I'm 29 years old, I live in Montana, and this is my first YouTube video ever. I'm starting this channel to talk about my weight loss journey. So I'm starting this channel for a couple of reasons. Just recently I was reading a Joyce Meyer devotional. It's an everyday for a year devotional. It's right here. It's called Closer to God Each Day by Joyce Meyer. Well, on November 2nd, I was reading the daily devotional and it just really encouraged me. And I want to share that with you guys. I'm going to go ahead and read the whole thing, and it's quite short. It's just a page. But if you don't want to listen to it, then I'm going to put the timestamp on the screen for you to skip ahead. So it's called, Sometimes You Just Need to Take a Step. The verse for the day is, "And Nathan said to the king, Go and do all that is in your heart, for the Lord is with you." 2 Samuel 7:3. Is there something you desire to do, but you have been waiting? Has God placed something on your heart, but you've been hesitant to take a step? I believe God's timing is very important, and I certainly don't think we should rush into anything without praying about it and getting good godly counsel. However, I've noticed some people spend their lives stuck in a waiting mode. They're waiting when they could be taking a step in faith. There is nothing more stressful than going through the motions each day only to get to the end of each day, week, month, or year and feel that you are no closer to reaching the dream or goal. God doesn't want you to live in that frustration. He wants you to seek His will, then take an action step. If I miss God, if I take a step in the wrong direction, God will get me back on course. It's your heart's attitude that matters. God is pleased when He sees that you are stepping out in faith, trying to please Him and accomplish His will for your life. So don't be afraid today. Take a step and watch God begin to work in your life. So that's the devotional, and it just really encouraged me because I didn't really feel like I had any goals or plans. I was like, whatever, like I don't really have a point to my life, but I know that's not true. I just didn't know what it was. And so God kind of started to unravel some things for me over the next couple of days that kind of just opened my eyes to wanting to start this channel. So moving on to the next thing, was me and my husband, we had just done foster care for the first time. We had an 11-year-old boy who's the sweetest kid ever. And he was with us for like just over 3 months. And he just recently left. And we were really, really sad. But with that being said, it kind of freed me up to have some time. I do work, I'm a barista at a coffee hut and I love my job, but I don't work many hours. And I really enjoy being a housewife and a stay-at-home mom, and so I didn't necessarily want to start working more again. And so that was just one more reason to be like, well, now I have this time on my hands. What should I do with this time on my hands? So the next reason was also a Joyce Meyer. God just is totally using her in my life recently to just wake me up. And this book is called You Can Begin Again. And I'm not very far into this book, only like that far in, but it is really good and really encouraging. And just as the title talks about, you can begin again. It doesn't matter how old you are or whatever. God can always do things in your life. Or like in this case, you're never too overweight to become a thin, healthy, fit person, right? Okay. And so I just recently read that story. And that just kind of, like, I think it was the day after I read the devotional about going after your goals and stepping out and trusting that God's going to meet you there and not just always waiting for God to open the door, but to step through doors. And if you make a wrong turn, God's gonna correct you and he's gonna put you back on track. I'm sorry if I'm talking too fast because I know that's something that I do. So the day after reading the Joyce Meyer devotional, I was reading the You Can Begin Again book and reading that story about Colonel Sanders. I just thought that was so neat. That like his whole life he kind of just didn't know what he was gonna do with it, and then he ends up opening a restaurant, having his goal, and then at 60 years old it gets bulldozed for a highway, and then but it doesn't, and it's just so encouraging because he doesn't give up. He moves on. His restaurant gets bulldozed and he could have just been like, that's it, I'm done. But then he works so hard that over 600 franchise restaurants of his own making, of his own doing before selling it. And it's just like, that's huge. That's not like he accomplished some small feat. Like that's big, that's very big. So God began to speak to me about my goals, and I didn't think that I had any. Whenever I think about weight loss and fitness and getting healthy, I've always just recently thought about wanting to get pregnant and have a baby and just wanting to be thin for reasons like being able to fit in a chair somewhere or be able to go on vacation and ride a roller coaster. Just kind of like these selfish reasons. Well, that's not really selfish reasons, but just like me-focused reasons. And after reading the story about Colonel Sanders, God reminded me of the goal that I used to have back when I was like in college, maybe even like 10 years ago. And I have not thought about this in years, but he just like brought it up to me. And it was about how I used to want to lose weight because I wanted to be a success story that encouraged other people. I have always been very interested in psychology and therapy, counseling, that kind of thing. And my goal was to lose the weight so that I could, like, what? My goal was to lose the weight so that I could be a therapist and help other people in a similar situation. Instead of being someone who had never gone through what they're going through, I wanted to be that person who had been there, but had achieved my goal, had lost the weight, had proven that it's possible, and then to encourage them. I know it was a God thing because I hadn't thought about it in years, and it just hit me after reading this story in the You Can Begin Again book. And so that's ultimately why I'm here. I was like, why do I have to wait till I'm thin to encourage other people? Why can't we do it together? So that was numero 3 reason. And the last reason was I just recently, like in the last 2 or 3 weeks, discovered that there's a weight loss community here on YouTube. I found 70 Pounds of Life and Back to Chubby, and they're both super encouraging. 70 Pounds of Life, I actually watched the video, like one of her last videos. She's just about to achieve her goal as it is. And Back to Chubby, she just started, and I was just like, if she can do it, I can do this. And I also just think it's really cool that like there is a community out there, but I don't think there's a lot of channels, and it's kind of like, let's all just do this together and encourage each other. So yeah. So that was my last reason for starting this channel. So now that you know why I'm here, what this is about, I am going to go ahead and tell you my start weight, which is also, I believe, my heaviest weight, but I'll explain that in a minute. So I'm starting at 370 pounds. 370 pounds. Yeah, that's a lot. And my goal is ultimately to be 191, and that's why it's called Adventure to Wonderland, because I'm gonna have a 1 in front of my number. That's my goal, my 100 something weight. And I honestly can say that I don't think I've had a 1 in front of my number since 6th or 7th grade. And I am not exaggerating. When I say I've been overweight my entire life, like literally my entire life. I was in the 200s in middle school, going into the 300s in high school. Alright, so I'm going to be doing weekly weigh-ins. I don't know what other kind of videos I'm going to be doing yet or how often I'm going to be uploading, but I know for sure my goal is going to be to upload every Monday my weekly weigh-in video. So I'll definitely have that one video where I'm definitely talking about how much weight I'm losing. I will have other videos, or in those videos maybe I'll be talking about the workouts I'm doing, the food I'm eating, that kind of stuff. Well, I think I've run out of things to say. So that's it. Start weight 370, highest weight. Oh, the reason I said that, I'll explain that, is because I'm fairly positive I used to weigh 375 or 376, but I'm pretty good about writing in my calendar whenever I weigh myself, and I could not find this. So I'm going to just believe that my most recent weight, it just happens to be 370, and it's the highest one I could find. Sorry, I'm talking fast again. So start weight 370, goal weight 191, adventure to Wonderland, here we go. And so I hope you guys will join me and subscribe, and we can just be on here motivating each other, encouraging each other, and you got this.